Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's XO Michaela here, back with another video. So today I'll be doing a video about 10 mistakes I've made my first year in business. So for those of you that don't know, I did start my accessory boutique in 2019, right before the pandemic hit. Bruh. So as you can imagine, that was the first mistake that I couldn't have planned for. If I knew that, I definitely would have did things different. But part of being an entrepreneur is you have to roll with the punches. You gotta adapt to your situation, just make things work. So that's what I tried to do. And as you can imagine, it was a little bit of a struggle the first year. So today I'll be telling you guys about things that I did that I wish I could have did differently that would have helped me go faster and be more successful my first year of business. So if you're interested, continue watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more. Okay guys, so I'm not doing these in any order or anything like that. So I wouldn't say that any mistake was worse than the other, but these are just 10 of the mistakes that I can think of. Okay, so I would say one of the first mistakes I made was inventory. When I first started, I can't remember exactly how many items I had. It was probably about 5 main things. So with that, I ordered 5 different inventory items, and I only had about like somewhere between 3 to 5 of each item. So I only ordered a few of each item because I wasn't sure how they would sell and I didn't want to get stuck with a lot of inventory. But I would say I kind of messed up with that because what I should have did is order samples, took pictures of everything, and probably put them up for either pre-sale or just marketed them more before I even started selling, so I would have more of an idea of what would sell and what wouldn't, because some of the inventory sold out immediately and I didn't have enough. So it's like I took all these pictures and spent all these times marketing for these items and they're already sold out. So a lot of my time was wasted. When I went to reorder some of the items, some were sold out and some took months to come. So it was just like a period of time where I had all these pictures on my Instagram marketing these items and they weren't there, and I was stuck with inventory that I wasn't selling. That was one. If I had to do it again, I would definitely order samples ahead of time and either do pre-sales or just use that to gauge what your customers want or don't want, and just use that as more of a preparation so you kind of know more what your customers want from you. Number 2 is focus on what's important in your business. Now, a lot of people think having a business, especially a boutique, is just Instagram, is just posting pictures and making content. And that is not the case. I can honestly say Instagram is one of the most insignificant parts of your business, and it's the most easy to delegate. So you don't want to get stuck just spending most of your time creating content, taking pictures. Although that part is extremely important, you really want to focus on the more important things like keeping track of your finances, keeping your website up to date, definitely keeping track of your inventory, because there was times in my business where I was posting pictures of items that were sold out and I didn't even realize, or I was spending too much time on posting a certain best-selling item and I only had one left where I should have focused on something else. So you don't want to get caught up spending too much time in something as insignificant as just taking pictures. That's definitely one of the first things that I would delegate to other people. And I know when you're starting out, you're very particular about your stuff. You don't want to have anybody else work on your things. But I can say that's one of the quickest ways to scale your business and save your own energy and your time so that you can work on the things that nobody else can work on for you. Number 3, this was kind of a mindset that I had, a mindset mistake that I had. So starting is the easy part. You need to know in your business, launching your business is probably the most easy part of having it. It's the most fun when you're picking out the colors and you're picking out what you want to sell, all that. It seems like a very hard part, which it is very difficult starting your business. But the hardest part of your business is keeping that business afloat and making sure you're making those sales every week, and that you're pivoting when you need to pivot and attracting new customers, bringing in new people, and coming up with new systems. Number 4, this isn't so much a mistake, more of just something that you need to know. You will lose friends during this process. People are going to get mad at you because you don't have as much free time to hang out. You don't want to spend your money doing the things that you used to do. Your whole mindset changes when you have a business, and you're just going to grow apart from people.
People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same, like you're doing all this for a reason. And what happens most of the time, people change. People change around you because they start treating you different because of your success. So you are changing.
There's people that you used to hang out with that, you guys were just focused more on having fun. It's definitely not going to be the same. Like, once you have a business, you're going to be so focused on that. You're probably going to want to put all your free time into that business. And people that aren't entrepreneurs just aren't going to understand. You're going to have your core friends that will understand, but a lot of people will get mad at you because you're not spending as much time. You can't text them back or call them as much as you used to. That's something that just comes with the territory. Hopefully most people will understand. You can try to explain the best that you can, but a lot of people just aren't going to understand, and you most likely will fall out with them or just grow apart, and that's okay. I also lost a lot of friends in this process because I felt like either they weren't supporting me or they helped me with something and they felt like I wasn't being grateful, although I was being grateful, but they just wanted me to give them more credit than they deserve, because it's like, yes, you helped me and I appreciated that, but you can't act like you just did a huge part for my business, because most of the time the things that they were helping me with were just social media or something like that. And it's like, yes, that helps, but not nearly as much as you think it does. As you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you have many different hats on and so many things to do. And just because somebody helps with one part, if you're a true friend, I feel like you're supposed to want to help your friends. So I'm not going to just celebrate you so much for helping me.
Always want some credit for some shit they supposed to do. People brag about some shit a normal man just doesn't.
Yes, I appreciate that, and I will tell them that. But a lot of people felt like they did me such a huge favor. And it's like, I built this by myself from the ground up. I'm not about to give you more credit than you deserve.
Yeah, what you want, a cookie?
That's just something that's not going to happen. Although I was very grateful. Some people wanted me to just throw them a party because they reposted me, and that's just not going to happen. So I don't know what to tell those people, but that's just something you have to be prepared for. Okay, number 5, you have to be extremely organized. As soon as you fall behind a little bit on just keeping up with either your everyday expenses or your finances, or even like keeping track of your pictures to post or just the task you want to do, things like that, you're going to fall behind. And if you fall behind one week, it can transfer into the next week, and it's just a snowball effect. When you're an entrepreneur and you're running a business, you want to stay on top of your organization, on top of the tasks you have to do, and on top of everything, because it could get to a point where you think it's just a small thing that you're falling behind on, and it really has a big effect in your business. Number 6 is it takes money to make money. Don't think that the sales are just going to start flowing in immediately. If you're lucky and you have an amazing product and marketing idea, yes, they might, but you have to be prepared to put a lot of money into this business, and you're also going to lose a lot of money. There's so many bad investments that I made. There's so many times I did things like go to pop-up shops where you had to pay for the pop-up shop, and then I didn't make any money. There's times that I ordered things and they weren't what they looked like, so I took a loss on it. There's times that I've lost packages, things got damaged in the mail, all types of things that you just may not think of and may not be prepared for. So you're gonna lose a lot of money in your business. So just be prepared for that. The biggest mistake I can say that I made was not having business credit and not building that right away. I actually, when I first started, I knew nothing about business credit. Again, this was in 2019, so this is when people were just starting to get into entrepreneurship. I feel like it really took off during 2020, but I had no idea about, I had an idea about business credit, but I didn't know that you should really focus on getting business credit and getting funding before you even really launch your business like that. You don't want to have to keep coming out of pocket, although you're going to have to at some point put your own money into the business. But there's a lot of ways that you can get around that or make it easier on yourself so that you're not coming so much out of pocket for your money, because it could take, honestly, it could take a couple years before your business is even profitable. In those first years, the money that you make, you're most likely going to be putting back into the business. So number 7, a big mistake I made when launching my business is I kind of just launched it. I didn't really have like a pre-launch plan, and I didn't market it how I should have. I should have built up a lot of anticipation and told all my followers. But at this time, I was a little nervous. I was a little, not ashamed, but just, you know, when you're doing something so big and you're taking a leap on faith, there is that huge possibility that you can fail. So I was just like, yeah, I want to open this business, but I don't want everybody to I didn't want to have so many eyes on me, just in case, because I didn't know if this was something where I was going to start the business and stop in 5 months. And I just didn't want that to be a thing. So, but that was definitely something I regret. I wish I would have had, told my followers about it months before, instead of like me, I launched and then I started telling my followers after, because I wanted everything to be perfect by the time I launched. And that's another mistake. Don't try to be so perfect. Make sure you have like the legal parts down. But as far as marketing and like your color scheme, your website, you can definitely change that as you go. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to have everything so 100% perfect. You're going to change as you go. And I thought my business was perfect, and I've rebranded it so many times. I made all new business cards. I even changed the name, changed the website, changed my products, changed everything. And you think it's such a big deal, but at the end of the day, nobody really cares. Like you have time to get into the flow of your business and make it exactly how you want to be. So when you're ready to launch, just do it. Don't spend so much time trying to make sure you have every little detail perfectly. Just launch, but you definitely want to have a pre-launch plan so that as soon as you do launch, you're getting sales in immediately and you don't have that stagnant time, because you will have to pay for your website as soon as you make it live. So you want to get those orders in so that you can pay for the things and make your money back so that you can keep going. Okay, I kind of lost count. I think we're on either number 7 or 8. I'm not sure, because I believe I added something in there. So sorry for my unorganization. But number whatever. So if you want something done right, you may have to do it yourself in the beginning. I know in the beginning, I tried to outsource a lot. Like I tried to use Fiverr. Like I said, I tried to use friends and family to help me. And people were just not seeing my vision. They weren't getting it right at all. So I did end up having to make my own logo, having to build my own website. At the beginning, I had to do everything myself. Like I tried to hire people to post on social media for me, and they just weren't seeing my vision. Like they would post the right pictures, but the captions were a little off, or they weren't getting the hashtags right. And that's okay. Like at first I was really offended by it, but then I learned like, okay, this is something I have to learn how to teach people to do these. And I have to learn how to communicate my vision so clearly so that it's no confusion. So you may have to do a lot of the things yourself, and that's okay. Just make sure you don't get stuck in a cycle of doing everything by yourself all the time, because you're going to burn out, you're going to get tired, and you're not going to be able to keep up with everything as your business grows. So eventually you do want to delegate to other people. You do want to hire people, because that's how you scale. But in the beginning, just don't get upset if you have to learn how to do everything by yourself, which you should know how to do everything by yourself anyway, just in case something happens once you do hire somebody. So number 8, maybe. So you'll be surprised at who pays attention. I know when I opened my business, people came out of the woodwork. Like a lot of my followers that I've been following for years, contacted me or just hit me up saying, like, encouraging me, saying keep going. And I got a lot of opportunities that I didn't even know like were out there. So once you start, like, you're going to get a lot more opportunities. People are going to be attracted to you that weren't before, just because you're doing something so amazing. Like, if you're starting your own business, no matter what scale it's on, that's an amazing thing to have a vision in your mind and bring it to life. And people are going to respect you for that, and they're going to be attracted to you, and you're going to get positive and negative attention. And I noticed with me, like, when I started posting what I was doing on Instagram, people started wanting to hang out more and things like that. And it's like, no, I can't. Like, I'm busy now. I'm doing something that's huge. And, you know, people feel whatever way about that. But just know that it's going to bring a lot of attention that you may not be ready for. And I guess that's cool depending on your personality. I know myself, like, I'm really introverted, so that was kind of weird to me, but I did get used to it, and I did start to like enjoy it, because now I'm like, I have a whole new audience of people that I didn't have before. So number 9 is the grind is so real. Like, you're gonna have to work so hard to make those sales. And another thing is, the cheaper you sell items, the more you're gonna have to sell. So I would definitely try to scale your business as early as possible, or just keep that in mind when you're picking your inventory. If you're doing this to make money, you should definitely try to have some hiring pieces. Depending on what you're selling, you're going to have to raise your price at some point, because you're going to outgrow the business. And just be sure not to set your prices so cheap in the beginning that it's harder for you to scale up. It's actually easier to start off high and go low than it is to start low and go high. And you also have to really invest in your business, and you may have to give some stuff away, like do giveaways. You're going to have to give things to influencers to grow your business. And you can't just hold on to your inventory so tightly. That was a mistake I made, because like I said, I didn't have a big quantity of each item that I had. So I was really hesitant to do giveaways or give things to influencers, when I would say that definitely did hurt my brand. I could have grown a lot faster if I did that in the beginning, especially with like the inventory that I was first buying, because I was starting at a low price point. So I should have definitely gave more things away, because the things that I did give to people, they definitely did bring some traffic to my store. And that's another thing. Be very specific with your brand ambassadors and the people that you work with, because there was some people that I would give free stuff, and it was like some of my higher end stuff, and they would like take one picture and be like, okay, I sent you your picture. And it's like, I gave you something free. Like, can you like take a couple pictures, you know? Can you make a video, make it exciting? Or if that's the case, if you're only going to wear my thing one time, like, you can give it back. Not to be rude or anything, but that's just the truth, because posting one picture does not bring a lot of traffic. But if somebody has to repeatedly see you in these items for it to really catch their attention, enough for them to want to check out the site or go to the Instagram page or whatever to really support, you have to build that up. So a lot of the brand ambassadors I was working with, I didn't know any better. I was just picking random people where it's like, oh, their page looks nice, like maybe they'll be interested. And it just wasn't working. Like, I wasn't benefiting from that like I should have. So be picky with your brand ambassadors, but definitely make sure you do have some people that are like promoting your stuff, whether it be friends or family, but definitely make sure it's somebody that's in your niche, that their followers are actually going to be interested in what you're selling, because that is one of the quickest ways to lose time and waste money in inventory if you're just giving things out to random people. But it definitely is worth it, especially doing a giveaway that brings a lot of attention to your page. So I would definitely do that. Okay, and number 10, you have to really believe in yourself. You're gonna get a lot of no's. It's gonna be a lot of times where you may do an event and make 0 sales, or, you know, people are not gonna believe in you. You probably will get some haters. Like, I'm not one of them people that's always like, everybody's hating on me, but people will hate on you, and it'll come in a weird disguise. Like, sometimes, you know, people will say just little things, and a lot of times it'll come from your friends and family, And that can really ruin your confidence. Do not let what anybody says ruin your confidence, because they don't see the work that you're doing. They don't see the sales that you're making. All they do is know if this is something they want or not. So I know there's been a lot of times where people have said like little things where it's kind of like, okay, they're not trying to hate on purpose, but it still can ruin your confidence. Like, I remember even when I started doing YouTube videos, I would send my videos to some of my friends, and I had one friend that was such a harsh critic, and they would say like, I don't really like that video, it's kind of awkward, do it over. And I'm like, do it over? That just took me 4 months to do. Like, this video took me like 2 whole days to record, 2 weeks to edit, another week to figure out how to get the copyright off, and another week to find music and figure out how to upload, and you're telling me to do it over. And then I would just end up not posting the videos. Or same with my pictures, like sometimes people would be like, I don't like your pictures, you should stop posting like that. And it's like, don't let that stop you. Like, just keep posting, keep doing your stuff. In the beginning, you're going to be cringe. It's inevitable. You're going to mess up. You're not going to start at the top, and most likely you're starting this business by yourself or with a small group of people, and these people don't understand the work that goes in. They might be comparing you to a huge business that you just can't compare to. Everybody has to start somewhere. You have to really keep your confidence, and you have to grow your confidence as you go. And you have to keep that vision in mind and not let anything stop you. You have to know that you're going to make this happen no matter what. And you just really have to do it. Like, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make, is they start something, they see that it's not working, and they just quit. And it's really a confidence thing. The biggest thing that I learned while doing this business is to just have confidence, and don't take no for an answer, and don't stop, and don't give up. Like, if I come to a part in my business where it's like, this isn't working, you just evaluate the situation and figure out how to change it and keep going. Do not let anybody stop you. Just know that you've gotten this far, and you didn't come this far just to come this far. So keep going. If something messes up, you fix it and you keep going, and you just know that God gave you this vision for a reason. Only you can see your vision, and it's not for other people to see or understand. They'll understand later. They don't have to support you right now. I know a lot of friends and family aren't going to support you, and that's okay. It's not for them. Your brand is not for everybody. So just keep going, keep your vision in mind, and know that it's on you to make this work. And the only way to make it work is by not stopping and just fixing the problems as they come, and you will be successful. Okay, that's it, you guys. That was 10 tips and mistakes I made my first year in business. I hope that video wasn't too all over the place, because some of that was just advice and other things were mistakes, but I hope you got the point. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested. Feel free to check out my website and my socials, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're working on a business, you will be successful. I believe in you. So make sure to subscribe and come back for more entrepreneurship videos, and I hope to see you soon.